Hello, everyone. This is Coach Tim Campsall, and I'm excited to have a fellow business owner with us today. Something unique about my guest is he believes discipline, faith, and gratitude can turn any setback into a comeback. And I just love that phrase. I may even borrow that from you. In his downtime, he enjoys family, spending time with his family as well as golfing, and he's most proud of his ability to balance family, faith, and the business in a way that matches his priorities and still allows him to make an impact. It is my pleasure to welcome Greg to the show today. Hi, Greg.
Tim, thanks for having me. I'm honored to be a part of this and excited to be on your podcast and excited to see where this goes and takes.
Well, I'm super excited to hear your story and share it with our audience. So let's start by having you introduce yourself with your full name and tell us a little bit of your personal story.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm Greg Wolfe. I'm the CEO of Imagine Financial. We're a financial insurance brokerage here based out of South Bend, Indiana. Grew up though in Northwest Indiana, so the Maryville, Crown Point area, they call it the region, and grew up in a Christian home with I have seven total brothers and sisters. So big household.
Yeah.
Family was prevalent, and grew up in a Christian home. Went to a Christian school, and so I think those were some just foundational building blocks that have shaped who I am and how I believe, and just family means a lot. And so I think that that's an important thing. Moved out here right after high school out to the South Bend area. Later, met my wife, and we now have four beautiful girls. So I'm outnumbered by a lot. Somebody pray for me. A lot of estrogen running through my house. But yeah, we have an amazing family. I've got four girls: Carly, Natalie, Naya, and Navy, and they range from 13 all the way to 1. So obviously balancing family is important. And yeah, we're very, very blessed and very active here in this area. And that's a little bit about us.
Fantastic. And what's your wife's name?
My wife's name is Chelsey. Yeah, that's probably important.
Wonderful.
She's I think I've told you this in prior conversations. She's the whole reason why everything why this whole thing is a thing. It's all her fault. I always tell her that when things she's the main culprit here.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, we'll dig into that in a little bit here. What's a funny story that your family likes to tell about you, Greg, that you'd be willing to share today?
Man, probably a lot, but being a girl dad, my 4-year-old, she's definitely in control or in charge of the house, is what she thinks. So consistently, I get told that I'm not the boss and that she's the boss. That's a thing that runs through us. But recently, we decided to have some like family money meetings, just around like, hey, some finances, things to teach,
Yeah.
and so during those meetings, now she wants to make sure that and number one, why I'm working, what I'm doing, and constantly telling me when I need to be. And she even told me last night, she said, Dad, if you want to just stay at work so you can make us some money, that's totally fine. Okay. So
That's awesome.
she's definitely in control.
Yeah, be careful how much you teach your kids about the value of money, right?
Right. It'll come back to bite you.
Greg, tell us, how did the business come about, and at what point did you have the confidence that you could run a business?
Yeah. So our story, while we think it's unique to us, I'm sure everybody's had some type of origin story about when they started in business. And for us, I come from a W-2 background. Most people who started businesses probably started there at some point in time. I've worked a lot of different jobs throughout my working career. And I started my sales background, if you will, in the automotive industry. So I started selling cars, enjoyed it, loved the car business, loved being able to get personal with families and interact that way. And then I knew like, hey, I want to like progress in the company and grow. So I ended up moving into a finance position role and was a finance manager for several years, and then moved up into a sales manager role where I was overseeing around 20 different car salesmen and women. And throughout that time, when you're in that type of environment, it's a lot of working hours, working retail hours. We're there late. We're making sure the clients are taken care of and helped. And so my wife, she is actually a nurse, and she worked in the ER here in South Bend at Beacon, and she worked in Michigan and a few other hospitals there too as well. But with her hours and the 4 kids,
Mm.
really there was like 1 or maybe 2 days a month that we actually got to spend some time with each
Oh,
other.
wow. Yeah.
So time was a thing, and it was while we were making a good living and being able to provide, we didn't have that balance at all.
Mm.
And so I come home from a late night's day of work, and I'm probably taking a late deal. I'm coming in, and Chelsea's like fired up, and I'm like, man, it's like 9 o'clock at night. Like, why are you so excited? Like, everybody, you should probably calm down. And she's like, no, I've got the idea. I know what we're gonna do next. Like, you're gonna go sell insurance. And I was like, no, hang on a second. Like, I've got my thing.
Yeah.
I'm a sales manager. It's good. And she's like, no, I think this is going to be big for us. And so, anyway, she had lined up even that night, that evening, a Zoom call for us to take with somebody already in the space. And I'm like, okay, you're crazy, but okay, I'll jump on the call.
Yeah,
So I get on this
yeah.
call, go through it, and throughout the time that we're on the call, I'm halfway listening, halfway not listening. And she ends up, we end the call, and I tell my wife straight up, I'm like, hey, this sounds great. How about this? How about you try it? And if it works, I'll give it some attention. She was the guinea pig. She was like,
Yeah.
okay, challenge accepted. So she's the biggest reason that we exist. Again, it's all her fault. She took the plunge, got licensed. There's some licensing that goes into it. Got licensed and started doing what we do now on a smaller scale, but started working from home, and started the business from the grassroots. And really, I got the confidence after I saw what she was doing. She
Mm.
had zero sales background,
Yeah.
and so I saw what she was doing, saw the impact she was having, and I'm like, man, if we take this serious, this could probably change our lives, and we could probably help and impact a lot of folks.
Wow.
And so, as uncomfortable as it was to leave something that's safe and
Yes.
a guarantee, we ripped the Band-Aid off and told the job, like, hey, this is what we're planning on doing, and you know, car business is car business. They didn't miss a beat, and they said, all right, cool, appreciate the time, and see you later.
Yeah.
So kind of helped us with the decision too. And so we jumped in full-fledged, and it's been an amazing journey. Obviously, there's been ups and downs in any business, and we've experienced those, but we've been very blessed. But that's how it all started. That's the origin.
Very cool. Awesome. That is so cool. So tell us a little bit more about the company. What's the name? What do you guys do? How do you help people?
Yeah, so Imagine Financial. So we're a full-fledged financial brokerage. So we help clients in a couple different ways. Some of the biggest ones is traditional, like life insurance. We do some health insurance. We also help clients with some retirement strategies and planning.
Yeah.
And some of the newest things that we've added as a division within our brokerage and on our team is we do a small portion of employee benefits. So we don't look to do everything in the health sector with a benefit package, but we do a small piece, and
Mm-hmm.
we really, what sets us apart and what's unique about that part specifically is our offering is we're able to install benefits for any size group. It could be 2 people that are employed up
Okay.
to, I think we've got groups of big as 6,000. So it doesn't matter the shape, size, what type of company. We're able to put benefits in, and it doesn't change or replace anything they have. And it also doesn't change employees' take-home pay. We use a few tax strategies and codes that
Okay.
allows us to find and provide the funding for these extra benefits. So it's been a really, really cool thing where folks traditionally would have to pay or come out of pocket for some
Mm.
of those offerings. Now we're able to find some funding sources for them to be able to get cool financial products without having to basically come out of pocket for them.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Wow. Without having to pay more. I like that sound of that.
Doesn't everybody, right?
So, Greg, we know that successful businesses can get stuck at various stages of their growth journey. So, tell us about your biggest challenge and how you guys worked through it.
Yeah, I would say our biggest challenge when we first started, we kind of grew too fast.
Hmm.
And what I mean by that is we were like, everybody that has a pulse should do insurance. Like that, if you're not doing insurance, you're crazy. And so we brought on, we probably had at least 100 agents at one point,
Oh,
and it
wow.
was just too big, too fast.
Yeah.
And so we've understood like, hey, there is some like things that some good traits that we look for now uh,
Mhm.
in bringing somebody on to our team. And so that's something that we've had to learn and grow through. And I think with every business, you kind of learn like, hey, like what's the do's, what's the don'ts.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
so we're in this kind of like hyper growth phase right now, especially in the addition of this new kind of benefit offering that we have. And so we're just trying to get the word out. Like that's our biggest message. And we're facing, obviously, when you hear something that exists that sounds like, man, that's awesome. That's like too good to be true, that the
Yeah.
intent is
Yeah.
typically go
Yeah.
up. And
Yeah.
so that you'd think I've sold a lot of things, and most of them have a price tag at the end of it. And so this one doesn't. And so
Right.
it's a different type of kind of conversation that you have to have,
Sure.
more education than anything. So
Fair enough. Yeah. Greg, we know that success doesn't happen in isolation. So I'd like you to pick three people in your business journey so far that you're most grateful for them being there to help with the business's growth. So who are those three people and how they help you?
yeah, the number one person is obviously my wife, Chelsey. She's the rock behind everything. She doesn't get a lot of credit. She will one day, I'm sure. And she stands in the shadows, but she is an incredible force of encouragement in the day to day. She leads with like just servant leadership, and she's top notch at what she does. So she's number one.
Yeah.
We wouldn't be Imagine Financial without her. So number one is her. Secondly is my dad. I didn't have Donald Trump's dad that loaned him $1 million to start his company. So thanks a lot, Dad. But my dad did help us kind of get off the ground and get started, and has believed in everything that we've done from the beginning. And so I think having support from those that matter most to you matter. And it's helped me specifically in days that are tough and tough moments, kind of lean on him for some encouragement and advice. And, hey, what do you think about this? And I run ideas past him, and he's been a great sounding board. And then lastly, we have some amazing mentors in this specific space that have been there and have just led the way for us. And I constantly believe in who you surround yourself with is who you will become. Name the 5 closest people that you are close to, and you're going to be either, that's who you are. Yeah. So we believe in getting around good people, good energy, and that's going to predict growth.
You mentioned sometimes when there's challenges, the business owner journey is not for the faint of heart, right? So having that support system behind us and around us is super critical.
Absolutely.
So another thing about building successful businesses has a lot to do with continuous learning. So what's been your biggest learning, Greg, as a business owner?
Yeah, I'm a huge person that believes in self-development. I think that, like, in order for me as the leader to lead a team to have a business, I've got to continue to grow and learn. Yeah. Otherwise, you're only going to go so far. So right. I'm a big believer in self-help books, always learning new tactics, innovating, staying up with current trends, AI. That's a big topic, especially in the world and climate that we're in. Yeah. And so I'm constantly trying to be at either events. I've got books constantly that I'm into. I'm just constantly trying to work on bettering myself. I think that, again, to be the best leader, I need to continue to level up and be better as a person. Because how can I lead somebody if I'm not leading myself? Yeah. It starts with me. I
love it. What's something that you've learned recently through a book or a video that you'd be willing to share with us?
Yeah. So I've read this book called The Entrepreneur. Man, now it's. I love when
I know, right?
For you, right? Man, I actually gave it to my dad to read, so I don't have it here handy. In any event, it was talking about servant entrepreneurship, something with entrepreneurship. Essentially, what the messaging was you can incorporate faith-driven entrepreneur. There we go. Finally got it. Faith-driven entrepreneur. And it's an amazing book. And again, essentially it was like, hey, don't hide behind or be ashamed that you're a business owner and you have faith, right? I think a lot of business owners kind of like, it's maybe taboo to make money because somehow that's a bad thing. When the reality is, like, there's givers that's how missions and things are funded. Absolutely. Based by people who understand that. So obviously it comes with a lot of responsibility, but being just proud that, hey, I am this person as long as you have the right attitude. So that's something that stuck with me from that book for sure.
I love that message of be your true authentic self, right? And if
Yeah,
if faith in God and that is important to us, it is to myself as well. Like not talking about it, it's just it is inauthentic, right? It's hard not
100%.
for it not to just naturally come up in a conversation. So that's
Yeah.
awesome. Proud of you for being, willing to be brave and courageous and be, speak your truth.
That's what we're supposed to do. I have one other that I would be remiss if I didn't say this one book
Yeah.
for somebody that's not listening. Outside of the Bible, this has probably been the most impactful. This is a big claim. This has been the most impactful book that I've ever read. And it's really not even a book, it's an essay. And it is maybe 7 pages long. It's called The Message to Garcia.
Hmm.
I read this when I was in a leadership, got put into a leadership position at the automotive dealership.
Okay.
And at first, when I read it, they gave it to you and they're like, "Hey, read this." Oh, okay, cool. So I read it and I'm like, "What was that about? Like, who cares?" And then like, go read it again. And I'm like, "What do you mean? I just read it. It was like
Yeah,
7 pages. Of course,
yeah,
I got it."
yeah.
And so when I first read this book, again, not a hard read, not it's super short,
Sure.
but the characteristics and the traits and the message that book has shaped a lot of decisions that I've been able to make and
Wow.
form in my life. And that's why I say, again, it's a pretty big boastful claim as being one of the most impactful
Wow.
books of my life, but 100% has. So if you have never read it, again, it's pretty, you can knock it off the list and say you've read a book. It's 7 pages long. Message to Garcia. Hopefully it changes somebody else's life.
Sorry, what is it again?
It's called The Message to Garcia.
Okay, fantastic. Awesome. Greg, success also has a lot to do with our mindset. So what guidance or advice would you have for business owners who are feeling discouraged or frustrated in their business?
Perspective.
Hmm.
That's my word, was my word all through 2025 this year
Uh-huh.
is at in our worst day, and you're gonna have it. They're gonna have bad days in business. You're gonna have things that don't go your way, things that sales that don't happen,
Yeah.
quotas that don't get met, teammates that fall off. And
Hmm.
when that happens, that still keep perspective, because we're blessed. And
Yeah.
at the end of the day, if you can be grateful in the times that are rough, you're going to be even more
Yeah.
grateful for the times that are good. And I
Yeah.
think that has been that's the biggest encouragement. And then to piggyback off of that is show up every day.
Yeah.
Right? There's no really cheat code in this thing. Like as cheesy as it sounds, outlasting is how you make it in
Yeah.
business. The people that quit, that's just what it is, and you're gonna have days that push you. And at the end of the day, I fired myself plenty of times, but then I rehired myself the next day,
Yes.
right? So that's just part of business.
That tenacity, it's so true. It reminds me of this cartoon that this person's digging underground searching for diamonds and they turn around and give up and then they were like one pick away from this great big diamond wall and
Yeah.
it's a good reminder of right, don't give up because you just don't know how close you are to the next breakthrough until it actually happens.
So true. That illustration is couldn't be closer to the truth. A lot of people are just millimeters away from having a breakthrough, or you need to be tested so that way you can understand what the good side is, and so you can teach people about the hard
Yeah,
stuff. So
indeed.
understanding that is just part of it, and go through that, embrace that. Like have perspective that you need the bad days.
Yeah.
That's what gives you the
Yes.
energy
Yes.
for the
Right.
good days.
And you mentioned gratitude and I shared it in your introduction as well, is it's really hard to be frustrated and discouraged if we're truly being gracious and acknowledging all the things that have been provided for us, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And then just understanding that we're in an amazing country that allows us to, have businesses and be able to have an economic system that, we still have the American dream. And are we perfect as a society? Absolutely not. Is
Yeah.
there improvement? Of course, right? But just keep perspective of it could be a lot worse.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah. Greg, as you think about the next year, what's your biggest priority that you still need to sort out?
Biggest priority is we are on a mission to get out of obscurity. That's been one of our main objectives is people got to know who we are, the problems we solve, and how we can help them in their either company and business and the value that we add.
Yeah.
And so we're on a mission to get out of that. So there's a lot of objectives and ideas that we are sharing together and that we're pushing out to just make people understand the offering and what we have and what we do, and that we want to be of service and make a big impact and help a bunch of people.
Yeah. And this question is going to sound a little bit obvious, but I would just love to hear the insight behind it. Why is that so important to you?
I think at the end of the day, for us specifically, we have goals as an organization, as a team, and those objectives and those targets help us hit the goals. And so those goals are pretty big. We set lofty goals on purpose, and as an organization and as a team, we make it a point to hit our goals. And so I think impact is a big thing, providing a space and a safe environment for people to understand what exists and what's available to them when they come to work, either work with us or work and do what we do, or even get the offering and products that we have. We want them to know that they're in good hands, and we are just excited that we get the opportunity to work with them. So
that's awesome. I love that. Big, hairy, audacious goals, and then you got to figure out how to make it happen, right?
Yeah, I don't want weak goals. I don't want to have to go after something small, and of course I can hit it.
Right?
Put some pressure on me. What was the saying? Diamond pressure builds diamonds or bursts pipes, right?
Last question, Greg. You already alluded to this quote earlier. So Jim Rohn said, "We become the average of the 5 people that we spend the most time with." So as you think about that, what advice do you have for business owners who are feeling stuck and they're trying to figure it out on their own?
I mean, if you're trying to figure it out on your own, we say if you put yourself on an island, you're going to end up fizzling out. At the end of the day, you have to get around people. It's all about energy, vibrations. Like it matters. It matters who you surround yourself with, good or bad. I've had plenty of some bad people that I've had to cut out of my circle, and for good reasons. Maybe that season of my life, and it didn't make sense for them to be around because they're even bringing me down. So you have to guard and protect who you are around. I think that matters too. So being very particular of where you spend your time and energy. We talk about this all the time. Our time is money. And so the most valuable thing that we have is our time. So use it wisely, protect it, guard it, make sure that you're, again, surrounding yourself around people, because if you're just going to think you're going to do this thing alone, I heard it, obviously everybody knows the saying, you do it by your own, you're going to go so far, do it with others, you go farther, right?
Yeah.
The more that we incorporate other people, you're going to go farther, further with other people.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And there's something that we teach our clients is at some point in time, there's only 24 hours in a day. So the business will only grow to the number of people that are working in it and their capacity, right? So if you're a solopreneur, you're going to hit a plateau because the business can't grow beyond you. So you have to have, right? It's just inevitable. You have to have people around you. And I love what you just said about the vibration and energy. And right. So if we do get stuck, or we're in our self-limiting beliefs or doubts and fears, right? The only way to be successful is to eliminate those self-limiting beliefs. And it may mean we have to have people come around side of us and say, "Hey, why are you thinking so silly?" Right? Like, stop doing that to yourself.
That's 100% the truth. And a lot of times it's ego. We're too proud, or we're too we don't think it's ego, but it is ego. And so I learned this a long time ago. Can't have a big ego and have a big business. So drop the ego. And if you've got big goals, understand that you only know what you know. And so to get to the next level, you got to learn more things. So there's going to be there's going to be growth that you have to relearn. And at every phase and stage, it's like that. So it's not like you've all of a sudden arrived. Guess what? There's a level up from there too. So if you want to truly have the growth that you're looking for, you're going to continue to have to go through those growing pains time and time again.
Indeed. A quote I like about that is, "Nothing ever grows in your comfort zone."
That's it. Yeah. Uncomfortability.
Yeah.
Push yourself there.
Indeed. Greg, sounds like you've been blessed with some incredible people in your business owner journey. If they were all here today, what would you want to say to them?
I'm just again, gratefulness is a big part of, I practice gratitude. When I'm feeling overwhelmed, take a moment, pause, and I'm just grateful and thankful. The people that have poured into me and have taken time, which I think is an investment into myself. And I'm thankful for them, grateful for them. And I tell them like, hey, we're on a mission and we're on a big path and big goals and big visions to help a lot of different folks. And so just thankful for everybody that has made an impact in my life, because I wouldn't be where I'm at without the people that have poured into me.
Fantastic. Well, Greg, I appreciate you sharing your story today. It's been a pleasure having you on the show.
Man, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thanks for listening to the Self-Made is a Myth show. Please help spread this movement by liking and subscribing to our show and following us on Facebook and LinkedIn. To join our movement, go to bemadtogether.com. Okay, folks, that's a wrap. Please pay it forward and be sure to tune in next time to the Self-Made is a Myth podcast.